close it down from China. You know, 430,000 people got into the United States from China. From
Here, let's do it this way. A lot of questions. And I don't think I want his question. What I want is the white lady's question.
Which was heavily infected. I then closed it down to Europe.
Do you feel like there's someone among your staff or Peter?
Hold on. I'm a nosy person.
Relief works in minutes, lasts for hours. Love hurts. Aspercreme works.
Memos that reportedly Peter Navarro wrote back in January. When did you see them, and how does these memos sort of square with what you've often said that nobody could have predicted this? It sounds like he was predicting.
I didn't see him, but I heard he wrote some memos talking about pandemic. I didn't see him. I didn't look for him either. But that was about the same time as I felt that we should do it. That was about the same time that I closed it down.
So at the time, though, when Peter Navarro did circulate those memos, you were still downplaying the threat of coronavirus in the U.S. You were saying things like, I think it's a problem that's going to go away within a couple of days.
It will go away.
You said within a couple of days, the cases will be down to zero.
Well, the cases really didn't build up for a while. But you have to understand, I'm a cheerleader for this country. I don't want to create havoc and shock and everything else, but ultimately, when I was saying that, I'm also closing it down. I obviously was concerned about it because I closed down our country to China, which was heavily infected. I then closed it down to Europe.
Do you feel like someone among your staff or Peter Navarro himself should have told you about the memo earlier?
It was a recommendation. It was a feeling that he had. I think he told certain people in the staff, but it didn't matter. I didn't see it, but I did. I closed it down. I don't remember it even being discussed. We had a meeting where there were a lot of people. Most people felt they should not close it down, that we shouldn't close down to China, but I felt we had to do it. And that was at almost the exact same time as the memo.
Okay, just a couple things, Mika. A couple things. First of all, the president, when he says he closed it down, then he was feeling the same thing. No, he wasn't feeling the same exact thing. And by the way, I got to keep going back to this when he said he closed it down. He didn't close it down from China. You know, 430,000 people got into the United States from China from the time of this outbreak. And even after he claims to have closed it down, he put so many exemptions on the travel ban from China that about 40,000 people got from China to the United States after he supposedly closed it down with his toothless ban. He should have shut it down. And then Europe, he talks about Europe. He goes, well, and then later on I did Europe. You know what? His own administration was begging him to shut down travel from Europe. His own administration, you can talk about, oh, this is what the WHO said, oh, this is what. No, people in his own administration were begging him, I think it was the HHS secretary, to shut down travel from Europe at the same time that he had this toothless ban that shut down part of travel from China. But he and Steve Mnuchin said, no, we're not going to shut down travel from Europe. We're not going to shut down travel from Italy. It might hurt the economy. And so we're not going to do that. It might panic the markets. So we had to wait another 2 or 3 weeks until there actually was a ban from Europe, a ban from Italy, a ban from some of the most infected countries on the planet. So he's lying about shutting it down. And Mika, as far as, we don't need a cheerleader. We don't need a cheerleader. We don't need like Ponzi, a Potsy, or whoever the Happy Days cheerleader was. We don't need Potsy in the White House. We need a president of the White House that actually follows the advice of scientists, of doctors, of other people, Willie, who actually were warning the president starting on January the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, that a pandemic could be coming.
Coming up, the president of the American Medical Association is our guest when Dr. Patrice Harris joins the conversation ahead on Morning Joe.
It's okay. Joe is a white man. He's a sexist. He's a grown man. Ha ha! You better be. I got that. I would say if you're going to be a responsible man in this world, You might as well. Never mind. Back to what I was saying. Back to the video I was making. Did you hear that? You see, they're the middle. What does this mean? What does that mean? That means that Donald Trump is an opportunist. And usually opportunists, I'm assuming that the reason why people dislike opportunists so much is because they probably tend to be biased and probably don't even realize it. Maybe may not even care, but he's biased. So this is the president. His name is Donald J. Trump, and we all know who Donald J. Trump is. But this man is also currently the president of the United States. So if you want the president of the United States to be biased, what if a person is biased? He's the president. He has a big job to do. What type of bias do you think is appropriate? Wouldn't you say that the type of bias that would be appropriate would be purely American bias? Purely American? And I'm not just talking about the 330 million American citizens like myself. I'm not. There are still undocumented motherfuckers here who don't deserve to be here. But guess what? They are American. That's the point. And it's so funny how nobody has yet to start a campaign, a federal campaign to get people to naturalize themselves who are not natural citizens. So how can you blame those people who are Americans but are not American citizens? And I'm not talking about the people who were born with a birth certificate, born in America, and their parents were born in America, and they gave up their citizenship because of certain conscious movements. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about everybody else. I'm really talking about everybody else. I'm talking about the people that really should be, they're benefiting off of this shit, and they're not becoming a citizen because they don't want to pay taxes and give back to the community that they work for. But those, it's all politics. So that's the issue. He's an opportunist, but, it seems to be that by nature, this opportunist is biased. And he's not biased in a way where everybody can get something out of him the way that the previous president might have been biased and everybody could not get something out of him. I don't know. In a different way. Is this person going to do something for you? I'm the person that tend not to be the voter because I just don't want, I feel like I am, I'm biased. I would be biased. I like to be opportunist, but I don't want to be biased. This is why I deserve to have a business, a capitalist business. I deserve it because I don't want to vote. If I was the type of person that wanted to vote, I should have the opposite type of business. The economic system that's the opposite one. That we were taught anyway, I guess. I'm assuming that we were taught is the opposite one. But I just wanted to share that because I thought that was interesting. These things don't matter anymore because you already made those mistakes. Why even comment on them? Well, because they asked you and you have to, and you're so unprofessional and so unskilled at the job of being a politician that you don't know how to answer the question without being biased because you're not a politician. But I just wanted to put that there because I have made a video last night that should be watched in conjunction with this. I made 2 videos last night that should be watched in conjunction with this. And now it completes the circle. I got news from 3 of the major cable news networks. Fox News Channel, CNN, and now MSNBC. It's just news because I clip it so that it's not biased. It's informative instead of being biased. That's what I do. All right. Peace.